The EFL Championship is fully back this weekend, and one of the teams now hoping to kick on is the mighty Watford. And we are looking forward to the visit of Cardiff this weekend with both Aaron. Good evening, Aaron. Welcome back. How are you?
Evening, Mark. I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. And we have a fantastic guest joining us on the Watford View this week. It's Martin Fletcher, who is the host of the Yellow Brick Road Boys podcast and
hey, everybody.
View. How are you, Martin?
Very well, mate. I've had a bit of a busy day today, preparing for my base at 7 o'clock. So I thought I'll come speak to you for a bit, mate.
Yeah, let's catch up then, shall we, on all things Watford. All right, we're going to talk about Dennis. We must talk about Dennis first. We're also going to talk about Healy. We'll talk about the Southampton game, and we're also going to look forward to the Cardiff game this weekend. First of all, Aaron, how do you rate Watford's signing so far as a whole?
Yeah, well, the signing of Dennis was so unexpected, and it was even more unexpected that we got a tweet from the famous Fabrizio Romano to announce it as well. I mean, completely come out of nowhere for me. I know there were some whispers of a player returning on Twitter, and then suddenly that appeared in the evening. We always said, I think, we needed a forward player. I think even Ishmael himself said in press conferences that we were looking for a winger. And I think as far as the recruitment team's gone with that one, I think I'd give it a 10 out of 10. I mean, it's going to take a while to get back to fitness, but I can't think of many better. I think it's actually a great coup for the Championship. I'm not sure many other teams would have been able to convince him to drop into that league. Maybe some of the top teams like Leeds and that, but no, I think we've really done well there.
His unveiling video was like you signed Messi, wasn't it? I don't know if you saw it. It was like, you know, you'd signed the most amazing player. No disrespect to him, but
yeah. I mean, he was much loved in his first spell while we're in the Premier League. He was by far our best player that season. I think if we can get anywhere near the same player we had, then he should be a real asset to us for the rest of the season.
Okay, Martin, I'll come to you on this one. What's Dennis going to give you that you've been missing?
More goals, to be honest. And for me, Dennis, like Aaron, it's Aaron, isn't it? The other Watford fan on here. Basically, we've been quite slow at going forward, and with the build-up with Dennis when he's back to full fitness and match ready, is going to rip this Championship apart for me, and the goals are going to come, and I think we're going to win a lot more games because we do concede quite a fair bit. So we turn the draws into wins. That's what I think.
Okay. Let's talk about one going the other way then. Let's talk about Healy heading over to Huddersfield. Did you view this as a strange one, Aaron?
Not really, and the reason I say that is because it's become apparent since the very beginning of the season that he wasn't really Valérien Ismaël's player. He was our first signing of the summer window. We got him really early, but as the season started and games went on and on and on, and he wasn't playing, and then Rajovic comes in and plays over him, so it was becoming more and more apparent that Valérien Ismaël obviously didn't really see him as his striker. He got a few appearances near the end. Obviously, scored two late goals for us that win it, which ultimately are really going to play an important part in where we finish this year. But I don't see it as a strange one, just because if this is a player that the manager doesn't want, what's the point of keeping him around? And I think the money we've got for him at $2 million is more than worth it.
Martin, are there any positions that you worry about Watford in now, heading into this very busy February that Watford have got? I think it's 6 games in 24 days.
Well, for me, I know a lot of Watford fans will probably agree with me on this, that I would say we need to look at least 3 positions. We need a new right back. We need at least 1 centre back in and a defensive midfielder to cover Livermore for me, because Sirialta's doing okay, but he's better in the back line, and rumours with Pollock maybe leaving as well. So we should be looking at centre back. But the wingers, I think we're okay. Strikers, now Dennis is in, but he's going to be playing more on the wing. Maybe another striker, but definitely in the back line for me. So at least 3 players, but I can only see us bringing maybe 1 more in.
All right, let's bring in Cardiff fans then, and let's preview this game this weekend. I'm going to bring in James and Harry, who represent the Bluebirds. So, good evening, James. Good evening, Harry. How are you?
Evening.
We're going to preview the Watford game then this weekend. Aaron, first of all, when you played Cardiff back in October, Watford were in 20th place with Cardiff flying high, and now you're only 3 points away from the playoff positions. With what you've seen from your team over the last month or so, are you more convinced now that the playoffs are absolutely within your grasp, or are you still towing the line, what you've said many, many times in here, no, not this season, we're happy with 9th and 10th, we don't need the playoffs?
Look, this league is so bonkers that they are obviously in reach. But I personally maintain the fact that if we were to get the playoffs, it would be a massive overachievement with this team at the moment. I think 10th to 13th was definitely where I was looking at the start of the season. I think, yes, we got Dennis in January, but I don't think that one player is enough to catalyst us to the playoffs. I think if we were to get into the playoffs, I think there's better teams in there that would probably knock us out. But I'm just along for the ride at this point. I'm more than content with the job Valérien Ismaël's done so far. I think it's definitely the building blocks for something. Maybe next season, the playoffs are probably our aim. But for me personally, I think that's a step too far.
Okay. James, you were there when Watford visited the Cardiff City Stadium. What was your view of that game?
It started off well, done all right, and then sort of, like majority of these games, how it's gone this season, caused our own problems, our own mistakes, and so I think it was the game where Jack Alwick sort of took a heavy touch and sort of just give the ball away, and to be honest, caused our own problems.
Yeah, and Harry McGuinness scored early in that game, and Bayo then finished it off. Do you rate Watford as a side, and what sort of game are you expecting this weekend?
So when they
that was to Harry. Sorry, James.
Sorry, mate. Crack on, I don't mind. I think we'll have two different sides than what the first game was back in October. I think we were all bright and breezy and full of energy and looking forward to the season, and it seems like we've maybe swapped some sort of role reversal. I think everything's gone a bit stale at the moment. Lack of signings and things like that. So I'm not holding up too much hope for Saturday. Hopefully we can get something from it, obviously. But we need an injection of energy from somewhere, whether it's players, whether it's some sort of, intervention from the manager. I'm not paid the money to do it, but it's not very promising at the moment, James, is it?
No.
We'll come on to Cardiff in the Cardiff view. Thanks, Harry, for that. Martin, just finally then, how do you view Cardiff as an opponent? Have you obviously
I've always rated Cardiff. They're a good team. I've been to their ground a few times, but no, I think they're having okay. They started really good, dipped off a bit, but they're a bit like we are. I do think they're going to push on high at the table, and I think that we'll finish around the same sort of position. I don't think we're going to make playoffs this year. I'll be happy with top 10 to rebuild. It's a rebuilding season for us this year, okay. And for me. I think the game will be a draw, and I would rather us rebuild, get the team stronger, and then push on for next season.
Okay, I'll get some score predictions in a second. Firstly, Aaron, could you give us your January player of the month for Watford?
Yeah, so my player of the month for January is none other than number 8, Jake Livermore. I mean, it's summed up quite well by his performance against QPR. He got some goals, which aren't really his job, but it shows how much he's brought to the team. He's just such a leader, even though he's not necessarily the captain. And like we've said, we sort of need backup from him in January, because at the moment he's run himself ragged because he's the anchor in the midfield. He's in front of the defence. I mean, I'm not sure if you saw him in a brilliant goal line clearance at Bristol City. I mean, the amount he's added to this team that no one probably thought he'd bring It's just amazing. I think I'd even maybe go as far to say that he's player of the season for us so far.
Okay, that's bold comments. Yeah, I think Hull fans would probably agree with you. Martin, would you concur with that?
Well, I'm going to give another player. Obviously, Jake Livermore is fantastic and one of our best players this season, but I'm going for Mr. Ben Hamer in goal. I think he's been absolutely fantastic since he's been in the goal for us. So I'm going to go for Ben Hamer.
Okay, right.
He would have been my second choice.
Let's get some score predictions from you two then. First of all right, Hornets. You can confer. I can't call this one this weekend. I think it's going to be over 2.5 goals on my coupon. Watford, Cardiff. Aaron and Martin?
Well, definitely get us new boatings to score coupons because I can't see that slowing down at the minute. We've been really positive going forward. We sometimes just can't find the final ball enough to maybe push on and score more than 2 goals. But yeah, we're quite leaky. I do think I've seen on Twitter some murmurs from Cardiff fans, seen their managers maybe not too happy at the minute either with the lack of incomings. I'm hoping we can sort of capitalise on that negativity and win 2-1.
Okay. James and Harry?
So I'm going to go 2-0 Watford. I know it's negative, but it's just realistic. Our team at the moment is loads of, well, if you want to bleep her out, but to be honest, I think we need a few players in, and even with them new players in, by the time the Watford game comes, I don't think it'll be enough to sort of get anything away from Watford. So I'm going to 2-0 Watford.
Okay. All right. We are going to let Martin go because Martin, you are hosting tonight on your Twitter, aren't you? You've got some special guests, and we're going to put the link in the comments below if you want to. Please follow Martin on the Yellow Brick Road.
Come have a listen, guys. Tonight, me and my other host, we are interviewing Mr. Tommy Smith, a Watford legend. So if you go back as well, a couple of weeks ago, we interviewed Jay Demera as well. So
Amazing.
Tommy Smith was with Cardiff for a while, wasn't he? He's good for us. Tommy Smith did a job for us as well. I think he's in our promotion. Yeah.
But no, he messaged me on Instagram on Friday. He says, "I'd love to come and speak to you lads." So obviously, come have a listen. It's a very friendly space, and all fans are welcome.
Thank you, Martin. We'll certainly do that. We'll put that link in the comments. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining us. Thanks, Aaron. Good luck. Enjoy the game. Cheers.
Thank you.
Thank you.